guys, how's it going? Laura with Garden Answer. I'm really excited for today's video because I get to plant up this raised bed. So this is called an LGarden original. In fact, the company LGarden sent this raised bed out so that I could try it out, and they're also going to be giving one away to one of you guys. So thank you so much, LGarden, for partnering with us on this video and also for the generous giveaway. And you guys will be giving you all the details on that giveaway later on. So in this video, I just want to go over the planter, how it works, and then I also brought a bunch of fun stuff home to plant in it, just to give you guys some ideas of how you could lay this thing out. So first of all, the frame is made of a really heavy duty powder coated steel, and you guys, this thing, I mean, it's sturdy. This is probably one of the, I'm shaking it. This is one of the sturdiest raised bed gardens I think I've ever put together, and I've put together quite a few coming from a garden center background. It is a two-person job for a couple of the steps. Just it made it a lot easier. I think you could probably do it yourself, just by yourself if you had to, but definitely easier with two people. The raised bed portion actually came in pieces in one box, and the assembly instructions I found were really clear, like a lot better than most instructions I come across. So A+ for that. And the casters on the bottom, so one side they're stationary, they don't swivel, and on the other side they do swivel. So it makes it really easy to move this thing around. I've got it locked right now. You can lock the swiveling wheel so that it stays in place, but if you ever need to move it to like clean behind it, or if you just feel like the light exposure is better somewhere else, you can easily move it around your patio. Next up is the wood down here, and this is actually a wood composite, so it should have a really long lifespan, and it's got 3 drainage holes drilled into the back side of the wood slats. They're evenly spaced, but it should last even longer because the whole thing is lined. So there's a really thick plastic liner that you put in here before obviously you put your soil in, and there are 3 black plastic drain tubes that are built into the plastic liner that you poke through those drain holes so that all the water is like facilitated nicely. It goes out through those drain holes. It never touches the frame or the wood part. So for the potting soil, and I chose to use an organic type, it took me 10 1 cubic foot bags to fill the reservoir, and I felt like that was perfect because it left me with about a 2-inch lip all the way around the exterior, which makes it easier and cleaner for watering. So you can come in and water quite a bit without any soil going up over the edges and making a mess. So the reservoir is about 52 inches long, 27 inches wide or deep, and about 32.5 inches tall. Now there are a couple add-ons that you can get for the LGarden. This is one of them. This is called the Craft Grower Kit, and this is one that will help you grow vertically. So it actually adds to your growing square footage essentially. You can plant in the soil down here like pole beans, pole peas, vining cucumber, just as an example, and you can let them grow up this built-in trellis. You can also use these baskets which come with the kit, and I'm going to use them today. I actually brought home some strawberries to plant in them because I think it will look very pretty. And then lastly, it has this built-in shelf on the top, and this is a great storage area for either your tools like trowel, gloves, maybe fertilizer. You could put hanging plants on here just for an extra growing space, but it's very easy to install. It just bolts right onto the back. And the other add-on is a greenhouse cover, which I will put on after I'm done planting to show you what that looks like. And it's basically just a really thick plastic cover that goes over the whole entire planter to protect any of your tender plants. So now I'm going to plant the raised bed up. I brought home a bunch of fun stuff, so I'm going to get it situated up in here, and then I'll show you everything that I brought home. All right guys, so let me show you what I've got, and I'm going for kind of a mix between production and pretty gardening here. I've got some vegetables, herbs, there are some strawberries and pansies, which pansies are edible flowers, but I figured that this planter would probably end up on a patio or a deck somewhere where, you know, people would see it often, so I thought some color would be nice. So let me start right here, show you what I've got as far as varieties go. This is an iceberg type lettuce right here, and then I've got some Walla Walla onions, and I did plan on putting the higher stuff in the back, so these onions will grow taller than the lettuce. I've got red romaine here, there's a variegated sage, an Italian oregano, which grows a little bit shorter and a little bit more out, so I thought it would be nice to kind of maybe grace the front here. There's some spinach starts and cauliflower, which this cauliflower will get quite tall, so I'm going to probably have to shift my basket over and move this one up so that I have enough room, which I can do later as the plants grow. And then I've got cabbage, which there are 6 starts in that little pack, and I'm probably only going to use 2 because they do get quite large. So next level up, I've got my 2 baskets, which I've got strawberries and pansies in. I went with Ozark Beauty variety of strawberries because they are ever-bearing, so they'll bear all throughout the season, and I thought that that would look super cute to have strawberries hanging out of each of the baskets. And then if we move up to the last level, my very top one, I decided to go strictly pretty, and I've got pansies planted in a couple of low containers I just think it looks really sweet up there. And then I've got a couple of garden tools, a garden fork and a trowel up there just in case I need them. But I'm gonna go ahead and get all of these things planted, and then we can go over all the spacing. Alright guys, so here's what it looks like all planted up from top to bottom, and I think it has a really striking design. I think it looks really nice. So let's get in closer and I'll show you how I spaced out all of my veggies. So I planted pretty intensively so I could fit a lot into this space. So I ended up with 12 Walla Walla onions, giving them about 3 to 4 inches in between, which will allow them to bulb up and size up quite nicely. Then I've got iceberg lettuce here. I used 5 out of the 6-pack because they'll get, you know, about that big, and I figured that that's a pretty good spacing, and I can always harvest these out earlier if I need to. Moving into the center, I've got my sage back here, which if you've grown sage before, you can kind of keep it into a nice round mound. Then I've got red romaine lettuce, which actually matures quite quickly. So I just put 4 in the center here. And then the oregano, which can spill over the side. Then my next row here, I've got 4 cauliflower in the back, and like I said, as it grows up, I can move my basket up as well to accommodate for the spacing. And then the spinach up front, which, you know, they can get to be pretty good sized plants, but I can harvest these at any point. In fact, I could eat these now as baby spinach if I wanted to. And then lastly, I only used 2 of the red cabbage out of the 6-pack because, as you know, cabbage plants get quite large. But the spinach will be harvested a little bit earlier. In fact, most all of these things, minus the herbs, will be harvested out of here by about the beginning of June, so I can start more stuff in here later. Before I show you guys the greenhouse cover, there is one other add-on called Power Green Seed Mat, and these are a mixture of red cabbage, Chinese cabbage, mizuna, kale, and fast flowering brassica. It's like a bunch of seed tapes all connected together, and you can lay these out, cover them with a little bit of soil, and just keep them moist. And then in 2 to 3 weeks, you'll have microgreens, 3 to 6 weeks, baby greens, and in 7 weeks, you'll have mature plants. So that's one way you can plant this thing up. I really wanted to show you with actual plants today because I think it just looks really pretty. So this is the greenhouse cover I was telling you about, and I'm gonna have Erin help me put it on so we can show you what it looks like. So this is what it looks like when it's on. It ties on to the frame in several different spots so that it's nice and sturdy and it stays on. And then of course the front flap, it rolls up, and then there's some Velcro up top to keep it up. And then you probably wouldn't want to have plants up on the very top shelf when you're using the greenhouse cover because it's not very tall up there. So I might be moving my pansies, but I think that that's a really good add-on, especially this time of year, because you can tell today it's kind of breezy and it's a little cold and planting cold crops. So if we ever have like a danger of frost or a really cool night coming up, I can just put the door of the greenhouse cover down and my plants will be safe. So that is the LGarden raised planter. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing it come together, see it being planted. I hope you're feeling inspired to go plant something. Now for the giveaway. It's super easy. All you have to do is leave a comment down below this video. We're not sure if we're going to be picking the winner from Facebook or from YouTube, so make sure to leave a comment below this video in both places. That way you're covered. And maybe go give LGarden a like on their Facebook page. It's not required for the giveaway, but it'd be really nice since they were so generous to offer one of these to one of you guys. So that's it for the video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.